बोलो।
Hello friends. Today we will discuss about the theory of optimum population in geography. Optimum population theory was made in 1924 by Edwin Kennan. As you are watching about the graphical demonstration of this theory, and it was made in 1924 after the theory of Malthus. The first population theory was made by the Malthus in 1898. Thereafter, many questions was raised across the world, and for giving the solution of those all questions, Edwin Kennan made this theory in 1924. There was many questions before the Edwin Kennan. First, that how much a population should a country own, and what is the point of the population where a country achieve the where a country achieve maximum per capita income or maximum size of GDP. As you all know, what is the GDP is gross domestic product, means the value of entire commodities and production of a country in one financial year is called GDP. So for expressing this theory, uh, Mr. Cannon said that there are many things in this point, in this vertical line, uh, per capita income is given, population is given in horizontal line. This is the law of increasing return, and this is the law of decreasing return. This is the constant optimum population. First, law of increasing return. Law of increasing return shows that when the population of a country is being increased, the return, the production, the income is also increased. And the return is highest on the point of M. If the population is scanned on this point M, the return will be highest. It means the earning will be highest, the per capita income of a country will be highest, the size of GDP will be highest, and if the population continue to increase and it has come on this phase, this is the law of decreasing return. Law of decreasing return. Law of decreasing return means if the population is increased without any objection, the earning, the production, the size of GDP, all will going to be decreased by the passage of the time. So each and every country want to search this point of the population. Each and every country want to search the point of this M point, and this is the highest point of the this is the highest point of earning of a country, whether it is per capita, whether it is the size of GDP or the return, diminishing return, total national income of the country. So this point is optimum point. Uh, Population, by the time population increased by the horizontal point, and functional population, each and every country has a percentage of the functional population. Suppose India now has 48 or 47% population which is functional, and if the population increased, the functional population also increased. If the population decreased, the functional population also decreased. So basically, this theory compares the resources of a country and the size of the population. These two things is compared by this theory. Now we come, because the theory was made in 1924 and we are living in after 2000, in 2020. So what are the changes we are seeing now? So at that time, each and every country, uh, each and every country was growing on the basis of population. But now, if the population is lax in a country, it can be outsourced. If the population is more than M, it can be migrated to another country where the opportunities are higher. So in present context, uh, if we look at this theory, that how much this theory is being implemented, the China is the fittest a point of criticism of this theory, because despite having highest population across the world, it has the highest size of the GDP and it has the highest size of the per capita income. Why? Because the size of the GDP, the production, the international market, and it has the highest export after America. So China proved that despite having the largest population, a country can be grown. So this is the main point of the criticism of this theory. And let me summarize in Hindi also in 2 minutes that optimum population theory अनुकूलतम जनसंख्या का सिद्धांत कि यदि जनसंख्या किसी देश की बढ़ती है तो शुरू में एम पॉइंट्स तक हमारा जो है वो इनकम इंक्रीज होता है, जीडीपी इंक्रीज होता है और नेशनल इनकम इंक्रीज होता है, पर कैपिटा इनकम इंक्रीज होता है। यदि हम एंड पॉइंट से आगे भी पॉपुलेशन हमारी बढ़ती ही जाती है तो फिर हमारी ये सारे फैक्टर्स डिमिनिशिंग होने लगते हैं, कम होने लगते हैं और ये कांस्टेंट हाईएस्ट या कांस्टेंट पॉइंट है, यहाँ पे हमारा प्रोडक्शन जो है वो हाईएस्ट होता है। तो हर एक कंट्री का एक ऐसा एंड पॉइंट होता है जहाँ पे उसका पॉपुलेशन ऑप्टिमम होता है, अनुकूलतम होता है और वो रिसोर्सेज के साथ मैच करता है। ये पर कैपिटा इनकम है, प्रति व्यक्ति है, दिस इज द पॉपुलेशन ऑफ द कंट्री। एंड मैंने अभी बताया जैसा कि चाइना आज के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में, बिकॉज द थ्योरी जो बना था वो 1924 में बना था और आज के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में ये जहाँ पे कंट्री, जिस कंट्री में पॉपुलेशन हाईएस्ट है वो माइग्रेट हो के जहाँ पे कम है वहाँ चली जाती है, जहाँ पे कम है वहाँ से दूसरी जगह से इमिग्रेट होके पॉपुलेशन आ जाती है। तो वहाँ पे पॉपुलेशन का एक एंड पॉइंट बनाने की कोशिश जो रिजीम है वो करता है और हमारा पॉपुलेशन जो है वो ऑप्टिमम पॉपुलेशन बनाने की पॉलिसीज गवर्नमेंट करती है। तो अगर इसका क्रिटिसिज्म हम बात कर रहे थे अभी, तो चाइना इज द मेन क्रिटिसिज्म बिकॉज उसके पास साइज पॉपुलेशन का भी बड़ा है, जीडीपी का बड़ा है, पर कैपिटा इनकम का भी बड़ा है। क्यों? क्योंकि इंटरनेशनल मार्केट, उसने प्रोडक्शन बढ़ाया, जीडीपी बढ़ाया, आउटसोर्स किया, एक्सपोर्ट बढ़ाया और ये प्रूव किया कि ज़्यादा जनसंख्या यहाँ पर भी, इस पॉइंट पर भी, अगर यहाँ पर भी हम हाईएस्ट रिटर्न ले सकते हैं। तो दिस वाज, ये सब था एक शॉर्ट में, संक्षिप्त में, कि क्या अनुकूलतम जनसंख्या का सिद्धांत प्रूव करता है, क्या अनुकूलतम जनसंख्या का सिद्धांत हमारे सामने एग्जाम्पल पेश करता है। थैंक यू।